Are you afraid of being Me Too'd? Or are you afraid of being them also? That's what I'm really afraid is going to happen to me. Hashtag them also. That is the dumbest fucking joke I've ever made in my life.
Great way to start it.
Yes, I apologize for that. Yes, Joe Bob Briggs, Pizza and I just...
For president.
We both survived the Joe Bob Briggs marathon on Shudder.
That's right. I got through. The servers didn't stop me, motherfuckers.
Yeah, now, I find it hilarious that half the country didn't see it when I saw... I only missed shit because I had to do stuff. I didn't... Everything was on. Every time I turned it on, it was on. Anyway, I had service the whole time, and there's people that were really freaking out about it.
I think I have an explanation for that, and it's that most people are technological idiots. So instead of refreshing the feed or trying to reconnect to the video as it's streaming, they literally just sat there as it spun, going, "It's not working." It's not going to help if you do that.
I believe you. How's your audio over there?
Sounds great.
Okay,
you're in my left. I'm in my right.
Okay,
I couldn't ask for more.
And so, what's happening, Pizza?
In the world, or just...
in your world.
How big do you like to know?
Oh, well, please, let's talk about Trump for 2 hours. That's why I brought you here.
Loaded. Things in /slasher world, we are gearing up for a vinyl release. We just reordered some shirts, if you're into that shit. We've got a gig with Havoc, Extinction AD, and Jungle Rot on August 5th, which this will probably air way after that, so... Wait, plugging the
August 5th? No, this will... I'll see. You're the one that wants to stick to this full moon thing.
You're goddamn right.
But we're already gonna miss this one. We're gonna miss this one. It's like what? It's like tomorrow.
No
or
one's
something?
checking.
They're checking. They're checking.
Who? The 5 fucking people that listen to this?
Do you like the way I hold my mic? By the way,
I do. It's very
Bert Convey. This is called the Bert Convey.
It feels very Bob Barker.
Thank you.
Straight up.
Thank you.
It's a little thick. It should be thinner, but I like it. I like where you're going. Are you speaking into a drum mic?
No, this is a 57. It's
a
a 57.
Oh, it is a 57.
What you think? What are you accusing? You think this is a bootleg, a Chinese bootleg or something?
Yeah, where'd you get that? Let me check the serial number on that.
No, I had to look it up because I used a pair of bootleg headphones for years, and I mixed entire death metal albums on them. And
your Sonyas.
And then I didn't want to say, I'm not going to say which albums I mixed for legal reasons, but yeah, there are some, bands I've mixed out there. A couple albums in the last few years were mixed on Chinese bootleg headphones, and it might have been why they came out a little tinny. It wasn't because of Bruss's ears, it turns out. And then I got the real ones. I was like, oh my God. And I got the real ones right before I worked on something for you.
That's right. Are you working with the KRKs now?
I think you thought I got the Rockets. No, I got Rockville. I know the ones you're talking about. They're the yellow cone ones.
Yeah.
I didn't get those.
Yep.
You warned me against those, so I didn't get those.
Yeah, they have rumor on the street is they have a higher bass. I talk about this shit like I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
No, but we're all in the same boat here. Here, let me throw in some more death metal.
Well, this sounds like a Bruss special.
Oh, well, no, you'll recognize this immediately once it kicks in. But, I was talking over you, though. You didn't get to finish, though. You were talking about the Axe Slasher gig in August.
No, we're just playing with Havoc. Some people have heard of them.
Your favorites?
Jungle Rot and Extinction AD. And we'll be opening. If you want to get soaked in blood, you can come. It'll be a lot of fun. Maybe you'll buy a t-shirt. Maybe you won't. I don't fucking know.
Now,
I don't know. People from Russia listen to this fucking thing. They're not going to come see us in Denver, Colorado.
What you mean this podcast?
Yeah. You never dig around in the stats?
No, you're the stats guy. I'm the face man. You're
You're the face.
Because I'm so gorgeous, you know?
Kid Gorgeous. That's what we call you behind your back. Yeah.
Thank you. The money maker. Yeah.
We have a couple of listeners in Russia. It's very much clustered in Denver, Colorado. Big surprise. That's where everyone we know is. But there are listeners in every state of the nation, at least one. and we've got like a couple of stragglers in countries I never would have expected. Russia's one, Argentina's another one. So shout out to Argentina, shout out to Russia.
Shout out to the Argentinian that listens to us.
The one Argentinian.
Yes, the housewife, I presume.
She's listening to it between episodes of My Favorite Murder.
They're funny, but not ha-ha funny. They're clever funny. I don't know, it's hard to describe.
They're funny looking, not ha-ha funny.
Yes. That's all going to get edited out, that accent there. But,
well, you don't want people like taking that, and you don't want Mike Cernovich using that to get you fired?
I don't even know who you're referring to, actually.
Oh, he's one of these people that is basically a professional online troll, but he's a big proponent of Pizzagate and things like that. The thing that drives me crazy about these people, though, is that they go through all the effort of self-promotion or all this effort that you and I would go through to promote our bands or get our artwork out there, but they don't have fucking artwork. They don't have anything other than like the desire to build a following and then get them to do things.
And not even a good fun following to do fun shit.
Yeah.
It's to start trouble or,
it's all this shit. And like,
have problems.
If you look at this dude's history, his history is like all of these fucking guys. His history is he started as a pickup artist and has all these fucking...
Oh, okay.
Every one of these guys is one of them, dude. That's where they found all these fucking bitch-ass men on these forums that are upset that no one will fuck them and start controlling them with their, like, hyper-masculine garbage of, like, gorilla mindset, bro. You know, it's not possible to date rape a chick. Have you ever tried? It's like, no, I haven't, motherfucker. And why are you, like, advertising it as if it's, like, there's a fallacy?
Some of us haven't had to try. I remember, like, we were, what was that guy, the guy that, he was on the Rogan podcast apologizing for being one of those guys. Oh, Neil Strauss?
Yeah,
is
that guy fucking wrote The Game.
Yeah,
the book
that guy.
All these fucking guys, and now he's like, him and Ryan Holiday both wrote two of the most inflammatory fucking books of our time. One, The Game, and Ryan Holiday wrote fucking Trust Me, I'm Lying, which is exactly like the advertising strategy that all these cunts are fucking using. So I blame squarely both of those fucking guys. If you look at Ryan Holiday, he's changed his tune now, and he goes around like speaking about Seneca and all this kind of fucking like...
Oh, so both of them have...
It's the same grift. They're doing the same grift. They've just changed their colors, and they're still selling to the same people who have the same problems, which they're socially maladjusted and can't get fucking laid. Like, okay... I don't know. Someone make a product that fucking destroys these guys and then also satiates all these fucking monsters that can't talk to anyone. I want people to start talking to each other and start fucking communicating. Start having a conversation.
Speak it.
Forgive people. Allow them to have abhorrent, like, people can have abhorrent views, but don't fucking act on it. Like, have conversations about it. This is like you and I. We both have abhorrent views on both sides of
we're
issue.
terrible, horrible human beings.
And we have conversations with them, and we invite people to talk to them about, like, these horrible views.
Right.
And we give them the true chance to change our mind on things. Like, it's a lost art that I want more people to get into. Like, be willing to have your mind changed.
And by the way, this is exactly what I didn't want to talk about. But no, fuck it. You're bringing up good points. I'm not gonna fucking be the Opie of this.
No.
Like, let's go to the phones. You know, fuck that point. He's making a good point. I'm gonna just shit on it. No.
I'm not trying to get political. It's just that these fucking assholes get fed the same playbook of promotion from Google, Facebook, Twitter, and every one of these platforms. If you click around on their website, you're going to find the guide to growing your audience. They're all the same, and they're all essentially how to build a cult, except they give you the tool to do it. And it's like all the shit that, let's pull the veil back here. I've worked as an advertiser for 10 years, and like all this shit that used to be dark magic that we used to laugh about behind closed doors and be like, man, I hope this stuff doesn't get out. Google, Facebook, all of them just feed it to you now and give you the tools of destruction that we used to treat with reverence and like understanding that this shit can be dangerous if used incorrectly.
How creepy was it when Google said, hey, you know that thing we have in our mission statement, don't be evil? Like, let's just get rid of it. Why would you even need to get rid of that?
Well, you've grown past.
Oh, sure. That's like saying, like, well, that thing where I just said, like, I'm not into date raping women. Like, I'm just going to stop saying that. Like, why? Like, no, I just, for no reason. Like, well, I mean, isn't it strange? Like, you don't have to say you're not date raping women, but why are you making a thing about not saying it now?
It's like going up on stage and being like, here's a list of things I never do and never ever would do.
Yes.
Just drawing attention to all the horrible things you don't.
Number one, molesting children. Folks, I want you to know. Okay, why is he saying this? Yeah. So same.
So now
thing.
that we've mentioned Mike Cernovich and fucking children in the same podcast, it's guaranteed that he's going to spread it to all of his fucking minions.
Oh, so we're going to get some good clicks on this?
Yep, we're going to get some clicks. We're going to get some views.
Let me throw some shit in for the bots. Pizzagate, 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 Pizzagate.
It's not even a bot. It's him. He's looking for that hashtag.
Okay.
He's taking it in. Now, I'm actually more offended that he doesn't know who we are.
Well, he knows who you are, doesn't he?
No!
You were all up in the Pizzagate.
Nah, we never reached his radar, and I always kind of regretted it.
I don't know if you want to be on some of these.
What do I care?
No, you just don't want that mud in your water. You know?
When the Pizzagate thing was going on, people were sending me death threats on Instagram and shit like that, and none of them I never took a single one of them serious because I looked at all these dudes. It looked like I could outfuck every single one of them that ever gave me a death threat. So I just don't care. I'm not scared.
It is important to be able to outfuck your potential killers.
Well, you'd like to hold it over their head in your last breath.
See, that's why I'm going to get killed, Pizza, because I'm such an excellent lover that I will be killed by someone who I've outfucked.
Well, it's like Highlander. It's like Highlander, and one day you and I will be atop a mountain with swords, and I will take your head.
The swords being our cocks.
And clearly, the head being cocks, yeah.
Do you realize what's going on here? Jenny's watching House. And I don't mean MD, motherfucker.
Oh, hey, all right. Well, I was going to be into it either way, but...
I mean 1986. Now, wouldn't that be a good crossover? House in House.
Hugh Laurie actually in the house. He's got to deal with the monsters.
Come on, what? Can't Lifetime get behind that? Put some dollars behind that? That would be amazing.
Well, if we want, you have a history of manifesting things like bringing Joe Bob Briggs back. Thanks, Ryan Turk, for not giving Patrick any credit.
Yeah, we got to talk about that at some point here. We got to make a solid chunk of that.
But you have a history. The point I'm making is that you have a history of manifesting things, so if we continue to talk about Dr. Gregory House exploring the house from House, we may actually get that crossover.
House.
As long as Ryan Turek hears it, we'll get that crossover.
As long as I get no credit, it'll happen.
Absolutely. Not a single red cent, not a dime, no acknowledgement.
What do you want to listen to here?
I don't give up.
You know, I'm just putting on a weird death metal. You don't seem to be having a problem with it thus far.
Have I ever? Don't answer that. This is interesting. Guitars played without distortion. Sounds like
this is a whole school of death metal where you're just trying to be, I guess, morbid instead of heavy, which I consider that the Autopsy school. But yeah, clearly I go for the heavy side, and I think you do too.
Yeah.
That's why I like this new shit that I like. It's pornography of heaviness now.
The Russian slam.
That's a good way to describe it, but no, it's actually a lot of shit I'm listening to. It turns out to be more from like Thailand and Indonesia and shit. Boy, they are fucking okay. The shittier the pain of your culture has been, and the darker the place is, and the violence has been in your culture, the more amazingly brutal your fucking insanely brutal death metal will be.
Dude, this DJ, what's her name?
Mucus Plug
at Heckhammer on Twitter. She's a DJ in Chicago, I think. But she sent me this album from a Maori black metal band, which was pretty awesome. Like going into that, like your culture being brutal, like informing this stuff. That I think that's one of the things that I will respect black metal for, is that there are some Maori people out there who are like, this seems like the way to express my frustration. I get that. And I
gotta say, if you are trying to be cultural with metal, I guess black metal is the way to go. You know,
well, I mean, there's so many white people doing it.
Well,
gotta explore that culture.
It's funny though, like all the white people, they like, well, this black metal sounds German and shit, because we're like, no, why aren't they making American white black metal? Like it should sound like country music with banjos and shit in it and shit. You know,
talking about how awesome America is.
Yeah, like why is this like? Oh, we're all singing about how awesome we are as American white people, so let's sing about Germany. Like, no, motherfucker, you're in America right now, so it should sound like Huey Lewis and the News black metal or something.
There is a lot of a drummer for an old band of mine used to purchase a lot of white power music, like because he thought it was funny.
Name names. What band?
Absolutely fucking not.
Okay. Gave it a shot, folks.
It was
Gave it a shot.
Time. It was, but I mean, I've been in like 3 bands, and whatever, you'll figure it out.
Well,
but,
you were in Graveland,
yep.
You were in Dark Throne, and then you were in DDC. That's all I.
Yes, Graveland.
It's one of those 3, folks.
Watain. And
oh yeah, that's right. I forgot well, and you carried the pig's head for Mayhem. But sorry, go ahead.
I
with
was
your story.
actually the cross that they nailed people to for an entire tour.
Oh, that the naked people would be on your chest.
Yeah, they just nail them to me every show.
And wow, did you have to fluff Gaul during a tour? I thought I read something about that.
He was not interested in me.
Hashtag him too.
No, he was not interested in me. He did not take a liking to my looks. I was not his type.
He likes them uncut.
Well, he also doesn't like them large and hairy either, which is kind of all I bring to the table.
No betters. No betters. Remind me of home. No betters.
That would be funny if your sexual orientation was based off of like the horrors of your homeland.
Well, mine is.
That's why it's so strange to me. Gotcha.
My sexual tastes are based on growing up in El Dorado, Arkansas. So that was like growing up in a Hieronymus Bosch painting.
That's why you like feet, because no one wore shoes there.
How dare you? Here we go.
Listen,
now, I'm going to edit all that out. I'm like Tarantino. I'm completely embarrassed about my foot fetish. I don't want to talk
You're
about
so embarrassed that you put a real long, obvious foot scene into all of your movies?
That's right. There was that Crypticus song all about feet. You're right. Yeah. That concept album.
What was that one called? 10 toes, but 9 by the end or something? I don't know. Some heady
The Claws of Eternity or something. I
don't know. The Eagle's Talon.
But I have no idea where we were going, though. We were on to something there. Oh, about black metal. Maori black metal.
Cultural black metal.
Yes, we were talking about the Maoris and the black metal.
Yeah, and like ultimately, like black metal doesn't really do anything for me when I listen to it. So like, it's not something I can't even tell you what the band was. But the whole idea of like someone from a culture I'm unfamiliar with taking something I am familiar with and telling their story with it was really appealing to me.
Well, did they do the whole thing where they like had like actual Maori like chanting and shit?
That's how they started it, and I was like,
because I was super
on board with it.
Yeah.
But then it got kind of standard black metal after that, and I was like, no, bring back like that ominous chanting, because it's fucking. If a group of people were doing that and they were like their goal was to destroy your home, it would fucking terrify you.
Well, you know all those the fucking Lord of the Rings movies, all the orcs were Maoris.
Yeah,
like clearly, like when I've seen now, you know, they do something where they get in a big horde and they ho ha ha, like it looks exactly like the Helm's Deep scenes, like, and supposedly the actors that were playing, you know, the good guys said that they'd be standing on that wall and all the Maoris would be down there dressed as orcs, like. Ridiculing them and chanting at them under the fake rain. And they said it was like the scariest thing on earth. So it was like, wow. Yeah, that's why those were brilliant. Yeah. Because they had a bunch of crazy maniacs. And then in the Hobbit ones, it's just they're all CG. Yeah. So it's kind of, there's something missing. There's like an ugliness to the orcs missing.
Well, there's a scale to it. Like there has, like the scale of the army having to be done with real people versus a CGI army at the time, like added to it. Versus
it was just the back of it was CG and the front was all real people. Now it was they had like some of the main orcs were CG, and it's kind of like, well then it removed a lot of the immediacy from it or something. But I felt he kind of Lucased himself.
He did Lucas it a little bit on The Hobbit, and I think that like
beautifully shot, but I just feel they were too silly.
Did you watch that at 40 frames per second?
Yeah, 48.
48.
Yeah, the double. Yeah, we went and saw it, and it was so bizarre. Because it looked like BBC.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing about 48 frames per second is it works really well with something that's completely CG.
The trolls look insane. Like,
but
it's
as soon as you get a
them.
real natural thing in that shot, all of a sudden it fucks you up because like. And the other thing about it is that the way that he used the camera in that movie too, like the camera was not attached to any.
That was amazing. Point. Yeah, he did some amazing camera craziness with it.
But I think that's where the 48 frames per second fucked you up, is because as soon as you remove, like the thing about 48 frames per second is that it's doubling the frames there, so you lose the dreamlike quality that people don't even realize movies have.
Yeah, which I actually really like.
I think it's really brilliant.
I love film look. Like I even like I love something like that Tarantino thing where they actually make it look scratched. Like I love film that much, but But anyway, I didn't mind it though. I thought it looked crazy, but it felt like psychedelic when I watched it. So I enjoyed it.
That's actually the point I'm trying to make, is that because the camera wasn't rooted in any like perspective that you can directly identify with, e.g. human height, it was everywhere. But because it was missing the dream like blurring or motion blur, it felt crazy. It felt like you were on a drone.
Yeah, there were a lot, and he designs a lot of those action set pieces to be almost like a ride or like a roller coaster or something. So there were parts of it that felt like, I'm on this weird mechanized thing where all these like actors have rehearsed all these movements very intricately. Like it became very artificial to me, whereas the old ones looked very sloppy and cool. Like you watch that where they first fight that troll inside of the mines. It's so sloppy and scary, and it's almost like a horror movie or something.
Yeah.
And then the new one felt more like a Disney-fied thing, which clearly it was.
My theory is that the whole Lord of the Rings thing is a set of golden handcuffs Peter Jackson put on himself. Like, I feel like The Hobbit wasn't necessarily a passion project.
It wasn't.
I think that it was 100% like contractually obligated.
Here,
I'm good on the weed.
Now, folks, this is a Filth Chamber exclusive. Professor Pizza is not smoking the reefer. Here, can I ask why?
Thanks for the double mics. Now I can hear myself in both ears. It makes me cough a lot, and since I didn't bring any oil with me, smoking flowers just kind of like a way to, like, one-way street to coughing. The other
You're
thing...
used to the other method. Yeah, because guess what? I'm coughing.
Yeah.
See, folks? He's right.
And the other part of it is that a couple of these episodes I've been way too high for, and I didn't really like my performance.
Really?
So I figured I'd give myself an A/B of like a completely sober performance.
Ironically, I'm breaking my sobriety of I don't even know how long here.
Thank you for doing it for me.
Well, no, it was just an occasion to have you come over and podcast, but also we've over here not been imbibing for so long that it really every time I drink a glass of wine now, it's like I can really taste it. It's like a real experience now to have some wine.
Well, it's like I haven't had booze consciously since 2009. So like even a kombucha or something like that feels like having a beer to me.
Yeah, if you this would be like, see, when I was pounding booze all the time, I'd pound an entire bottle of wine. But now, like, one glass is like reading an entire novel. It has so much detail in it and stuff, and it hits me so hard. It's good.
It's funny how tolerance can ruin your appreciation for things.
No, but see, that's not how it works in the Patrick Bruss body. Patrick Bruss can enjoy things to the point of death, or also to just like slightly taste it and enjoy it. So like I have to manage things that way. Like I could just be a fantastic alcoholic and drink myself to a perfectly wonderful death where I would enjoy every minute of it.
You do have the superpower of not really slurring when you're drunk, which is infuriating.
I do?
Yeah.
That's not how it seems from in here.
I've told you this for 20 years straight. This is the most frustrating thing about drinking with you, is that it's hard to understand how drunk you actually are. You have to look for other cues like clumsiness or
racism.
Yeah, that's a big indicator.
Cop punching.
Yeah, nudity.
Trying to make out with sixes.
Nudity is another one. Sixes? When do you go for sixes?
You were out of town the New Year's when I broke my shoulder.
You stepped up your game?
Not that night. That's the night when I really started to not... Folks, I'm going to tell the story on the podcast now. Hold on, let me put on some good music in the background.
Something atmospheric.
I'll
chew on something loud while you tell this.
Well, there's plenty to chew on here. New Year's Eve, the beginning of 2014. You were
supposed to cut out?
I'm telling a story here.
I'm stepping on your story.
That was for dramatic purpose.
All right, I'm putting it down. Put it down. You tell your story. I won't interject.
But okay. Let me see. Was this 2014?
It was 2013.
Okay, folks, picture it. New Year's Eve.
The year is 2013. The time is about 9:30 p.m.
A wasteland. of super science and sorcery. There, Patrick Bruss found himself at True. He was hanging out with Jack Brown, and they had just debuted some new beer that was named after an Absu song. It was Never Blow Out the Eastern Candle. Is that what that shit was called? Okay, Eastern... Never blow out the Eastern Candle! Forever!
Just a quick interlude here.
Yes.
Proscriptor McGovern, maybe the coolest guy ever.
Yes, I agree. That deserves its own podcast. And
we won't bring it in here, but if you don't know who Proscriptor McGovern is, you certainly don't know who we are. So check him out.
If you want to hear someone make up a lot of bullshit during an interview, like if you want to hear a babbling brook of bullshit, that's Proscriptor McGovern. Like, now tell us about your drumming style. Well, perhaps are you talking about how it might be perceived by the 14th dimensional X as filtered through the lapis lazuli, or are you going to tell me that we have to look at this through the sigils lined up through the procession of the Black Sloth?
Are you aware that we've released all of our albums on crystals?
Yeah, remember that speech in House of a Thousand Corpses that Otis gives to the tied-up cheerleaders? Then you got because their minds are too crystallized. Like, that's exactly, sounds like...
I'm pretty sure that's who Bill Moseley, he went to a lot of Absu shows to get that character down.
Wow, I am so completely lost as to what I was talking about.
You're talking about the shoulder story. You just had a beer at True. You were with Jack Brown. The time was 9:30. Sorcery and science ruled the land. Continue.
Right. I shouldered my way from the wasteland into this bar called True, which is a dark black metal-y bar here in Denver, which is, you walk inside and it looks like a black metal blog, and the lights are all low.
One of two metal bars in this city. Suck at other cities.
Yeah, the other metal bar is all jolly and fun and silly, and it's like a Metal Fridays or something.
One is tight black pants, and the other one is loose camo cargo shorts.
Exactly. Well, I was at the one with the tight black pants, and they were having a very fancy New Year's Eve for everyone in black sweaters and shit. And they were debuting Eastern Candle, this champagne-sized bottle of beer that was really effervescent and delicious. And I was feeling really good, and I was in really good shape. I had literally done 23 knuckle push-ups before I went.
Watch out, world.
And I rode my bike 5 miles to go there to drink. And so I was like, oh, tonight I'm getting laid. Like, I'd shave my balls and everything. And
I remember those days.
Yeah. And then, well, this was clearly, now I'm a different person after this story. So I'm talking about a time before when I believed in things.
A time when you gave a fuck.
Yes. And I just kept drinking this shit, and it was one of the funnest nights ever. And there was this weird girl who's I describe as about a 6, and I'm about a 6 as a man, so I'm not saying that I'm much better, but I mean she was a 6 to me.
So you were playing within your league.
Well, I don't know, but if it's
it was intramural.
Yes, sure. I was within my weight range, but. See, but if it's a 6 to a 6, is that a 6?
That's a 12, baby.
Oh, I like your math, sir. See, so you were with me, because I thought she was a 12, too, after all those Eastern candles. And after about 5 Eastern candles, I kept literally saying to her, midnight's coming up. You're going to need someone to make out with over here. I'm your guy.
That's your line?
Yes. Well,
free to the podcast public. Feel free to use it whenever you want, but please quote Mr. Patrick Bruss afterwards.
It was thereabouts what I said. I was in a rolling brownout at this point. And Jack Brown...
Rolling because you were on your bike.
Not yet. That's where the story's going. But so I followed this girl to multiple bars. I don't remember. I just remember...
Which is not a behavior you normally exhibit.
No.
You choose a bar and you stay the entire time until you're ready to go.
So yeah, if you hang out at the metal bar all night, it's Eastern Candles all night, and they're weird beers. They don't have other booze. But see, somehow the 6 talked the other 6 into going somewhere, and I just remember I was doing shots all of a sudden.
Uh-oh.
And that's
not your forte.
No. And that's when I don't remember anything else. So I'll just tell you how I saw it, my perspective. So I woke up at home because I had been texting you and Jenny both, apparently, and telling you how I had broken my shoulder or something. And somebody had put me in a cab, and I don't remember any of it, and stuffed my bike in the back. And I had already called 911, and there was already an ambulance on the way when I came to. Yeah, and the ambulance showed up. They said, get in the back. I was like, I don't know what's going on. You called us. You just called us. Like, I'm calling it off. And they're like,
no, thank you.
Yeah,
cancel the order.
Said, well, if I get in there, are you guys charging me? It's like, listen, just get in here. It's like, okay, get out of here. You guys go. And so I dismissed them. And I went back in the house and I realized that my shoulder was dislocated.
You dismissed the ambulance.
Yes, because I...
Get the fuck out of here,
I was not going to pay for that.
You heartful fucks. I don't need your help. Get out of here.
Right. I did that. But also I was kind of terrified because it was the other guy who called him. It wasn't me.
Yeah.
It's like a Dr. Jekyll scenario.
It sounds like some guy hit you with his car and then called the fucking ambulance and was like, I'm out of here later.
I don't think so. I think I got on my bike and tried something. But anyway, the thing is, I had some kind of a wreck and I conked my head and I had a black eye and I had a concussion and my shoulder was dislocated and my left collarbone was broken. And so my roommate at the time, Derek, who's this weird, fruity, gothy guy, he...
Can't say fruity anymore.
Oh, that's right.
He's a very vegetable-y guy.
That's right. It's very crispy. Yeah.
Smelled like celery. Sorry, you can't bash Derek and not expect me to jump in.
No,
I love you, Derek, but you are fun to bash.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think here. Leave a space so I can edit all this out.
Leave it in.
No, because I have to make all this make sense later.
It will make sense if people stick through.
Nobody's gonna stick through this garbage. See, this part here totally gonna get cut out, which means it's totally gonna be in this show. So anyway, he came home. This gothy roommate of mine came home, and he had to pull my shoulder back into place because I had the corolla dislocation. Like
or
forward.
Just hangs? Oh, like forward. Gotcha.
Yeah, but I don't know how bad, but it was like, I think my shoulder was like kind of down near my my left tit. And so he had to pull it because my collarbone was broken like forward. And so that, that's what holds your shit in.
Yeah.
So he had to pull it back. That popped it back into place. And then I never went to the fucking doctor. I had this.
Well, why would you? You got it handled.
Stupid here was an alcoholic at the time. That's why the story happened. But yeah, the concussion was the big thing. And you were the one. I was texting you. You were like, "Don't go to sleep."
I've had a few concussions. I know that.
You were a football guy, right?
Football and hockey, but like one of the few things I know about a concussion is going to sleep is a one-way ticket to death 9 times out of 10.
And let me tell you, I wanted it so badly because I just remember it was like there was a thing it was like Freddy Krueger trying to make me go to sleep. And I felt so hot and tired. And what saved my fucking life was that Dale came home and he's this is another roommate of ours.
Wait. You owe Dale?
Oh, well, my friend, the Pale Yellow King, Dale Satterley. Shout out. Thanks for paying for my for the night coming.
Man, that motherfucker's never paid for any of my music.
Well, I've helped the PYK get laid several times.
Can't compete there.
Well, anyway, now I got to edit all that out and go right to this point right here.
Don't edit anything.
No, because
put it raw, baby.
The point is, came home with some of this bomb-ass, crazy-ass weed, and it was literally the next morning Reefer was going to be legal. And since I couldn't go to sleep, he pounded me with weed, and it really helped me, like, through my concussion. And then we went straight to the dispensary, and I stood in line with a broken shoulder and a black eye and bought legal Reefer. And they, like, interviewed me on the news and stuff. And I was like, I'm here because of this. I have a concussion right now, and this is going to help me. And I was wondering, like, is this going to show up on the news? Like, because I was, like, also kind of still drunk and shit.
You definitely probably ended up on the news under some, like, horrors of weed segment.
The dude standing in line in front of me, he had like an ankle bracelet thing on, and he's like, I have this on because of alcohol, and if I could have reefer, I never would have had these problems. I'm here because I'm clean now. I'm trying to change my life. I'm going to smoke reefer. And I was like, I'm here because, look at my eye. This is because of alcohol. Alcohol. I'm drunk right now. I have a broken...
Booze Brothers!
Yeah, so, like, yeah, you want to do a shot in alleyway? Absolutely. I made some Pruno in my shoe while I was in line.
I've been to a couple of meetings that have ended with people leaning over like,
oh
you
boy,
a drink now? Or?
That's dark. That's
dark.
like some Chuck Palahniuk shit.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
The stuff that he writes about of people being like super sex crazed when they go to those things, 100% accurate.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, that whole section of Fight Club is. Well, he said he really did that. He used to go to those groups for real.
Yeah.
And just to sit back and watch because he was just like depressed or whatever.
Have you read anything like interviews and stuff with him recently? He's been going through some shit.
Oh no, not within the last couple of years. What's happening?
He got financially hoodwinked by a partner, and he's basically like penniless right now.
Like his partner in life, or you mean like a business partner?
Like a business partner. Like
that sucks.
Yeah, he got hoodwinked and like I can't remember exactly what it was, but millions and millions of dollars down the drain.
He's broke?
Yeah. So he just wrote a new book, but in like all the interviews about the new book, he's talking about like, going broke was maybe one of the best things that ever happened to me. And he goes into detail about like, being famous and like having that life of richness and all that fucking like just famous people shit,
he blew
especially
up
in Hollywood. And
he blew up when that movie came out for sure.
Once he lost his money, he was disinvited from all of those like things. Essentially, he's not a different person, but he's like that whole experience of being disinvited and like not allowed to these things simply because I got taken advantage of. Like changed his perspective and
now
like,
he knows,
let him realign. Like
he knows who's who.
Exactly. Exactly.
Wow, that sucks. I can't believe I didn't hear about that. I love him so much. Like I love his shit. Like. I feel that
the other thing he said about his creative process is that not like having everything you need is actually a way to be like creatively infertile because he just didn't have not goals, but like there's no big thing driving him because he
nothing to fight against or push against.
Yeah, there's no adversity to his life, so like, and especially when your bread and butter is writing about people with like extreme adversity, it's difficult to like conjure that, I guess, when you're getting sandwiches served to you by a butler and God knows what else. I could imagine that, and I sympathize with that to a certain degree of like losing all your shit and being like, well, I guess I have to write now because if I don't eat.
Yeah, and he wrote Fight Club. Supposedly, I mean, as far as I remember it, he wrote it like when he was like a mechanic or something. He would be on the mechanic's crawler underneath a car, writing it upside down by hand and shit. And I read that book in one setting. It was so compelling, and you could tell it's like a first album. You could tell he poured so much of himself into it. Yeah, I hear what you like. The next one you could feel like, oh, he's got a claim now. Yeah. But yeah, even the shit he wrote when he was highly acclaimed and rich and famous, I thought was really great. I mean, his weird dark. Nobody has. It's almost like he took what 9 Inch Nails was for music and like distilled it down into some kind of yucky, horror-ish kind of noir writing. Like I don't even know how to describe it.
There's some Stephen King-esque things to his writing. Like he doesn't use the same prose or like setups or even like really hit the same themes as King, but there's certain things that like. He's got a set of rules and principles that are similar to King's. One of them being like, if I can't shock you or scare you, I'll gross you out.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate. Like, I appreciate anyone who's sitting down to make something and thinking like, the emotions that I want out of this, I want you to be scared. If I can't scare you, I want to shock you. And if I can't shock you, I want to turn your stomach.
Yeah, that Stephen King, that was one of my favorite sections of Stephen King's Danse Macabre. But, yeah, he did.
Oh,
this is the Giallo's Flame guy. This is a mix he did. It's called Ron's Breakfast Mix. And
Ron's Breakfast Mix?
How dare you invoke his name?
If you say it 3 times, he'll appear and play ping pong for you.
Oh, Patrick, could you do the Billboard and straighten hip hop?
I could see him practicing ping pong to this soundtrack. Like a montage. Oh my
God, I forgot he was a ping pong guy. Folks, we're talking about Ron, who was my boss at a record store I worked at for many years, and he was a kind of a Ned Flanders-y character, but sleazy as fuck, and
Ned Flanders, if he liked to dust around young girls at the in the metal section.
There you go.
Ron is a creeper.
Well, yeah, he would. Well, thanks.
Let's go down the line and just start naming names of people from our past. Like we talked about burning bridges earlier yesterday.
What people?
Just burn them all.
Creepy people.
Creepy people. Well, people like.
Well, your turn. I put Ron on the table there.
Ryan from Fat Jacks. You son of a bitch. You hired half of the punk fucking scene in Denver. Didn't pay anyone dick, and then ran with all the money. You mother. I'm holding grudges, baby. No. I ain't seen you in 15 years. I'm holding grudges.
Folks, I personally have no idea who he's talking about, but as a member of the Filth Chamber, I stand by Pete's views.
That's right. You just got to say fuck Ryan.
Fuck Ryan, I guess.
Thank you.
Sorry, Ryan. It's Ryan.
He's a fish fan. You don't have to. Don't take any pity on him.
Well, it's ride or die here at the Filth Chamber. Now, where did I put that? Let's see, did I put that?
How would I know? How would the audience know?
You sound like my mom talking to my dad. Bob, how would they know? Well, I was talking to myself, Jafia.
Into a microphone?
Well, I didn't know the mic was on. Bob, we're using hot mics here. My parents' podcast, especially since my dad's dead. It's terrifying.
Actually, I would listen to a podcast of her trying to summon his spirit.
The spirit of Bob. What would the spirit of Bob Bruss be doing?
Start cooking. If he gets summoned, that's immediately where he goes. He doesn't stop to say hello to her. He goes straight to the pan and starts cooking up some shit. I'll be with you in a moment, honey. This is fun, speaking ill of the dead to his living kin.
Well, you're setting up. I'm going to have a hereditary-like scenario tonight with my dad naked at the foot of my bed because of all this talk. Because here's the thing, my dad actually slept naked.
Good.
Yeah, but
that's where you get it from.
What? I don't sleep naked. I need my boys held together.
Like them tucked.
Yes. No, I've got. I don't know about you, but you're getting up there. How's the balls? Because
they're fine.
Wait till you get up in your 30s and shit. you get about an inch a year. It's amazing.
In length or girth?
Well, what depends on.
Take your pick.
We'll see. It depends on your genetics.
They just keep swelling and swelling.
Like planets. I've gotten lots of length. Like dangerous amounts of length.
Do you breach the surface of the water?
Not yet, but
do you worry soon and take precautions like tucking or holding?
Joey Coco Diaz says his balls literally touch
swim.
the water.
Yeah, they swim.
Can you imagine that?
No, you'd be.
Dog, every time I take a shit, it brushes the back of my balls.
So you gotta wipe your ass and your balls? That's like a whole extra step I'm not looking for.
You have to throw your balls over your shoulder when you take a shit.
Like a continental soldier. No, I'm on the bidet kick. That shit, you could hit that.
You got a bidet?
You can clean your balls with that all you want. Yeah.
At your house?
Yeah.
You didn't tell me that came with a bidet.
Yeah.
It's in the downstairs?
Yeah, in the master bedroom, of course. You'll never see it.
We installed it ourselves when we moved in.
No, actually, the previous owner had it, and I made sure that he left it in when we moved in.
A bidet?
It was great. It's great. I highly recommend it. I feel like someone who takes their anal cleanliness as serious as you do, this is something that you should look into. For about $80, I think you get the same one we have, and it is really a life-changing thing.
It would be like one of those crazy Japanese ones.
You can get a crazy Japanese style one for less than $200.
Oh, really? Oh, so they've come down.
The technology is now affordable.
Can I get a USB one?
I don't see why not.
All right. Now I'm in.
Actually, it'd be kind of funny if one had a Bluetooth speaker on it and it played directly into the bowl.
It's you gotta pair it with your ass before you sit down. It's very difficult.
Yeah. You gotta enter the pairing code into your actual asshole.
Yes, and it's very difficult when you have the green apple 2 steps from eating too much candy and drinking too much wine.
Well, when you're my size, it's hard to get to your touchpad. That's
why you need the one that when you sit on it, it recognizes your ass print. Just immediately. Like,
that's a little too intimate for me.
The one that you just wink a certain way and it recognizes and it goes, "Oh, Mr. Bruss, welcome again. You've winked to the left. That means purchase this on Amazon."
Yeah, I don't need any of that shit.
I've got the bidet that also makes the coffee and everything. You know?
So you never have to leave the bidet. It's just a constant cycle of diarrhea, coffee, diarrhea, coffee.
Yes. It's very expensive. I bought it in Japan.
It's your own human centipede.
And it's also, you strap into virtual reality while you're on it. It's a whole thing.
So it's like you're shitting off of Mount Fuji?
Yeah. And I'm Godzilla while doing it.